So we've got the sprocket mounted on the shaft, and today's mission is to actually get the motor and gearbox mounted in here on these adjustments. And I'm still working that out on the fly, actually. And to be quite honest, I may have built myself into a corner because this has to be extremely strong because these mounts are going to be taking the full force of that motor and gearbox when this is all under load and working in it. Yeah, I'm just hoping that me making this up as I go. Oh wow, doesn't fit in this side. Tiny bit of run out, but not enough that it should worry anything. This is actually running very nice and true just by eye, which for this application is good enough. Ugh. I don't want this to fall off, so I think I will put a clamp on it. So this sprocket is actually adjustable. I've got a fair bit of play, so I've just sort of moved everything to where I think it'll be happy, and I can actually get this thing out of here now. Very carefully. It's light. The crunching is for dramatic effect. I've got some marks to show me roughly where I want this to sit, and I think I'm actually going to bolt the frame to the angle iron, but I'm also going to weld it on and yeah, and then brace it all off this part of the frame. So I've got the motor out of the way. This texture mark just needs to be in line with that, and we're in a pretty happy place. There's lots of adjustment on the sprocket, on the shaft, and yeah, I'll probably brace off this edge down to the frame, keeping in mind I can't bolt through that because if I do, it's going to affect the up and down adjustment because there's steel telescoping inside that. And anyway. Very nice. Breathe again, holding my breath. All right, that'll do for now. That'll do for now. it's because it needs to be done up. Okay. You know, that one could. Just gonna, maybe not too tight. It just looks like it wants to be aligned a little bit better. It's probably way too tight. I'll be loosening all this off, you bet, to align it all. This is the original chain off the elevator, and it's actually, it feels great. There's very little play in it. I might need a hand off you, John. Now, we want to, all right, so I want to knock that one there out. So I'll just keep my hand on that, and now you got to release me. That's locked on there. You're in. Yeah. Okay. All right, now unhook it up top there for me. Now, providing I don't lose my spot. I had a better punch somewhere. This one's just not long enough. That's my maker's mark. Rubber knot. That'll go a bit further. One of my granddad's punches he made. Oh, great. Flippin' heck. I need a better punch, I think. I'm just embarrassing myself.
Can I hold it there for you?
Yeah, you hold it down hard.
Yep. Damn, need a long.
Oh. What about this drill bit? Nobody.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Got it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Hold it still, John. Yep. Oh, John. You know what I need to do? This isn't a half link. I actually need to knock that one out completely because it's not a half link. That's all right. We just did it off camera. Beautiful. So this chain is going to be traveling this way. So that actually determines how you put this joining clip on, whatever this is called. See, if this is going this way, and let's say it brushes up against something, it's going to push it on. If you do it this way, it could catch and come off. And I've actually seen these, because they were installed incorrectly for the direction of travel, come off. So we want to be this way because, yeah, that's correct. Now I need a pair of pliers to get that on. There we go. So yeah, if I bring this down, or if it is, it's barely audible. There you go. Now it's going to be tight. It's going to be pulling on this side because we're going that way. So I want the tensioner to be on this side. Looking for something with a shoulder. You don't want a plastic bush running on threads. It's just going to chew it out quick. If it's on a smooth shoulder, it'll wear away the steel bolt before it flogs out, funny enough. Oh yeah, that one is actually shorter. We'll keep that washer. Oh, look at that. Yes. Oh, yes. Right. Another washer for good measure. And then we do a nut up on that tight. And that'll keep all that happy. Happy days. Oh yeah, that'll work. So off camera, I've made a lock for the brake. This is a braked motor, and it has to be energized for the brake to be off. And for the tests I need to do, I just need a way of turning it off, because I'm not going to be, this is I think it's a 24 volt system. I'll have to confirm that. But anyway, this is just my way of locking it out. I've just cut a tab and drilled 2 holes at the right distance and screwed it all together, and spins freely. Ha! And I couldn't find on this what the ratio was. And in spinning this and looking at the output, this might be a bit quick. Oh, I'm a bit nervous now. I kind of, providing it has enough power, the simple fix to that is he'll need to run a VFD, a variable speed drive. VFD, yeah, variable frequency drive, and he'll be able to, make it work that way. Might have to do, but I'm going to have to run with it the way it is and test it and see if that's appropriate, because at this point I can't not use this motor. I'm committed to that, but I can put a bigger drive sprocket up on the drive shaft end, and that will give me a pretty decent reduction. I'm just hoping I don't have to do that, because that's just more delay. Happy I opened this up actually. It's loose. It's as loose as a goose. This was just fouling down here. I was going to notch this out, but then I realised that that cap should screw straight into there, and therefore I've taken this all apart for nothing. Yeah, fun times. Oh, that's actually like that. I think that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. I'm happy I opened this up actually, because that earth was extremely loose, and looking at how this thing was disconnected in that the cables were just chopped, I would say that that earth was loose during operation, which is really unsafe. I'm not an electrician, but I do know that the earth is the most important connection in here, because it's your safety. If that's loose and there's a leakage in here, like the voltage is going through the outside of this, if it can't go through to earth, it's not going to trip out the safety device. And if you touch it, well, suddenly you're going to become the earth. So yeah, the earth is really, really important. Like I say, I'm not an electrician. Oh, come on. Put you back together. This is the brake circuit. And in this case, this motor, the brake is naturally on all the time until you put power into that. Inside this is a big electromagnet, and there's like clutch plates, except all they're brake plates, I guess. Anyway, it pulls that across. There's always a manual safety on the top, but I've just removed that and replaced it with this steel because I just want to test it. And yeah, I don't plan on touching anything in here. I don't even really know what I'm looking at. I know that there's 2 ways of wiring these things up, star and delta. I don't know which one it is. So, that's all, don't freak out. It's not live. I know this is the wrong screwdriver. I wouldn't be touching this if it was live. At least not on camera. This motor is in very good condition, which is highly unusual, not something that I'm used to seeing, because most motors that I used to deal with on the equipment where I used to work was in an extremely wet environment, and they would more often than not would succumb to rust. Like their service life was so short just because of the moist environment. Hello. Inspecting the work. I see. There we go. Oh, that was a bit tight. That's better. I'm going to chop the excess off. Now we know how long it needs to be. Tidy that off. Like I said, don't need to paint this side. It's going to be pushing against the hay. Whatever I spray on there is just going to get worn straight off. And because it's in a constant wear environment, it's actually going to end up really shiny, and it's never going to rust anyway. You know, constant use is bare steel's best friend. And those rivet holes line up there. So 4 rivets on each side to hold that on. And then there's a spacer that goes in there that I haven't made yet. Ooh, we're getting close. So I've just sprayed some Colgal on these surfaces because I don't like riveting 2 bits of plain steel together that are unpainted. It's just, you know, creating rust problems for the future. Come on, there we go. And this is why I love laser cutting, because these holes line up perfectly. And this bar is going to push the hay up, but it also has a second purpose of keeping the chains separated and running on the wooden wear guides. Right. Great. Oh, yes, okay. That's good. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, a little bit more. Right there. Ha! Ha! Oh, that was confidence boosting. That was. Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, it's so close. Oh, there we go. Oh, done. I think we can turn it on again. Well, this is the moment. All right. Yeah. Nice. Right. This is pretty much the final thing. I'm going to make a motor cover to protect the motor from the weather and also to give it a point of deflection as the chain stretches, and if it's not tensioned in time, it's not going to grab the motor or the electrics, and we're going to preempt some mismaintenance right here. Because, you know, that's life. I'm guilty of it too. Speaking of mismaintenance, this thing is filthy, so I'm just going to clean that up before I use it. I wasn't entirely sure what I was trying to achieve, but I think I've achieved it. It has sort of garbage can-esque vibes. That's better. That's my spacer. That's quite firm actually. Yeah, that's amazing. I'm shaking the whole, I'm literally shaking the entire thing. Hooray! Oh, of course. Everything looks right, just come on. Okay, I think that's started now. Oh yeah, it's good, that's pushing. Okay. Oh, yay. Man, having the right tools for the job you know, always makes things quicker. And in this case, I had to make the right tool. But I'm having flashbacks of when I was a fitter and turner in a factory, and like you'd be sent off to do a really simple task, like, you know, you just change out that bearing. You know, half an hour was probably what it should have taken. Sometimes you'd be there all night because the bearing would be rusted to the shaft. And where you were, you were limited to what you could use as like a grinder or heat or anything, because it was food production. You know, you couldn't just go spraying sparks around. Good times. But that, you know, that worked as it should. Thankfully. And I've still got to do the other side. Anyway, good times. I mean, I wanted it to be a press fit because it was a one-way bearing, so I needed it to be tight so that it wouldn't slip in that. Okay, installation process. I'm going to drop that from there. So that's nice and soft. Onto there. Drop that on there. Right. For whatever reason that one's loose, but that doesn't matter. Same on this side. The only reason I even went to all this trouble was purely because of the one-way bearing braking thing. This, at the time, was more economical than buying a braked motor. As it turns out, I got a braked motor. So all of this could have been achieved with a standard bearing housing and UC bearing of some sort, probably a 206 or something. Anyway, this is the system now. And this is the system, and I'm okay with that.